That guy looks cool. That guy looks cool. I like him. Yeah, let's stick with that one, because I was a really huge fan of Crash Bandicoot back in the day. That was one of my favorite games of all time. And welcome back to one of the worst channels on the internet.
Nathan Drake is gonna kill some more people.
Have you ever killed someone?
No, I haven't killed a human being.
Alright, now answer that question again, but pretend that you did.
Yeah, I killed a guy named...
Why would you admit it if you did?
Dingle.
No, but why would you admit it if you did, though? I said answer the question like you did.
What?
That doesn't mean say yes. It means act like you...
Oh.
If you did kill someone, you would have denied it.
Yeah, see,
What are you saying? Did you just confess to a murder on game in chat? Casey, you could go to jail!
Who did I kill? Squibbly Diddly?
You gotta stop giving people names like Squibbly Dibbly and Scringly Dingus. They can't all be S names.
They can't all be. You can't all
I'll side with an X. Isn't it weird that, like, you know, Homer Simpson is a millennial? Can we talk about how Homer Simpson is a millennial now?
Yeah, he's like us. It's just fucking ridiculous.
It's strange because, like, a lot of people argue that the floating timeline was a recent decision, but actually, like, there's evidence to support that, like, classic Simpsons all through the first, like, 6 or 7 seasons were doing a floating timeline thing.
They already were. I
Yeah.
was well aware of that.
Yeah.
I was well aware of that.
But, like, don't you wish sometimes that they just didn't? Like, you put so much investment into these characters and learning about their lives and...
What if they made a Simpsons movie, but it's like...
set in the 90s?
Oh, wow. Like a time warp thing.
Yeah. Or maybe animated like it's in the early 2000s or something like that. Whatever people consider to be, like, the, peak Simpsons, animate it in that style.
Peak Simpsons?
Yeah! Season 8.
Season 100 a million.
100 in a million? I don't even think we're, like, halfway there yet.
100 years, The Simpsons.
100 years, thesimpsons.com. Bart, join me on 100 more adventures, thesimpsons.com.
Oh shit, that's a cool pose.
Yeah.
I gotta put that pose in my game.
You should put a lot of poses in your
Wait,
game.
I don't have to kill the people? I win? Guess I win.
You know what would be really fun?
Yeah, what?
If in a future Uncharted game they made a girl Nathan Drake, and that was one of the costumes.
There is.
There is?
Yeah.
Wait, what game?
I haven't unlocked it yet. Let me just check when I can unlock it.
So wait, what did you do for your remake? Why did you remake it? Like, just to see if you could, or...
I changed it from... yes, first that. Now I'm changing it from jungle to desert. And there are the Last of Us infected enemies.
Oh, you gotta get out of the way. You gotta get out of the way, Mitchell! Sorry, force of habit!
My name's Mitchell.
Sorry, force of habit. Get it? Because, like, I'm normally the one that's, like, making you angry because you're failing at the game. Oh, because I'm failing at the game? Yeah. Do you do, like, the cool duck roll thing like he does there?
Yep.
Nice. But
he has a cover animation that's really cool that I want to...
Do you think that Nathan Drake is, goals? Like, do you want to be him?
No.
No? Do you think he is a bait?
Adventure? That sounds like a lot of work. He goes on big adventures and he doesn't even bring back any money.
Weren't you telling me before that you wish, like, the Pokemon world was real so you could travel around with, like, your Pokemon?
Yeah, but that's like baby shit.
Yeah, no,
this
but...
This is hard. You gotta shoot people like that immediately.
If Pokemon were real, you probably would have to shoot them, though.
Oh.
Yeah, you didn't think about that, did you? It'd be like a post-apocalypse.
Like post-apocalypse.
It'd be like a apocalyptomon.
Cockocalypse.
Rockopolypse.
Cock on my lips.
Lemon titties. Cock on my lips!
Oh. God. This was the
Alpaca
demo.
lips.
On PlayStation 3, this level was the demo.
Yeah.
And I played it so much. I just could not stop.
I know the people in the comments are just gonna be like, oh, just do that then. But there's like a part of me that really wishes I was more in tune with gaming culture as I used to be, because when I was a kid, I just had endless amounts of time, and like no expectations for my life, so I could just like spend hours exploring like the Pokemon world, or like
I
freaking
spent so long on the toilet.
finding all the secrets in like Spyro the Dragon and all that kind of stuff. But I can't nowadays. When I beat a game, I just like move on to the next game. You know what I mean? I don't get as invested in the world and also like some of the charm has been lost once you know how games are made.
Like games, James.
That might be completely different for you though. Maybe that adds more charm to it to know how the sausage is made.
Only there's very rare games that I just want to dissect.
Has there been any ones that weren't part of your childhood specifically? Has there been any new games that made you go like, "Oh, this is my new hyperfixation"?
Let's see. Dreams.
Yeah, doesn't really count though because that's just you recreating things from your childhood in a different game.
There's no game I played on Dreams that I was like, oh, this is the new thing.
I'm not judging you though because I do that a lot as well. When I was doing a creative course at university, one of the things that I did a lot is I sort of had this philosophy of I struggle to like.
Poo.
Shut up! I told you not to mention that. I struggle to stay motivated on a project for school if, like, there's nothing in the project itself that interests me.
Yeah.
So what I started doing is I would, the question I would ask is, how do I tie this to something that interests me?
Yeah.
And so, like, with game coding, I would be like, oh, I'll just recreate a Mega Man level.
Yeah.
Or with figure drawing or something like that, I'd just be like, oh, I'll draw a character that I like. Yeah. Or like a character that I'm going to be using for a future project.
Yeah.
And then there was like this, one day that we made this like chibi, you know those like cubic things where you, it's like, you cut papers into squares and they turn into a cube. Yeah. I basically remade a chibi version of a Mega Man character in that. And it's just like, yeah, it's like very cringe, but also like, you know, sometimes you just have to do the cringe thing to like get it done. Does that make sense?
Get her done.
I don't know. Oh, similar thing happened to me in high school when for a woodworking class they were like, oh, you can like carve this like wood into like any shape that you want. And I made a Powerpuff Girl.
Yeah,
and
no, that you can't do that. You're a boy.
Yeah, no, the like really toxically masculine like dude that like sat across from me was just like, that's really gay. And I'm just like, I don't.
Bitch.
Yeah. Well, no, I was like, I don't care. I'm like, what does that mean? Like, elaborate. That doesn't mean anything.
It's like a similar story to mine where my school bully was like, oh, I'm using guns in my stop motion animation.
You have mentioned this before, but I will let you.
Do you want to use mine? And I was just like, immediately, I just said, no.
He's like, good.
Yeah, he was like, good.
Good.
Just like,
I wasn't gonna let you use them anyway.
Expecting me to say
Yeah.
He knows I don't like.
Bullies.
That's strange.
High school bullies are the strangest like
Very strange.
beast because
They got the bully.
They-
thing.
they always
The
like say
Simpsons.
things that they think are gonna like annoy you, but usually don't have any like. And it's more they more act confusing than menacing, if that makes sense. Like there was this one who came up to me after a class once. And it's just like, "Hey, did you know that you look like this?" And he just starts smushing up his face. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Like what? I don't care.
I wish I could remember
Like,
moments like that.
I do not care.
I'm sure there's been plenty. Oh yeah, I remember now.
Yeah.
I was in art class and class, and we were making
Ass arse.
We were making clay pigs.
Yeah.
I didn't really care for it. I did it. I was just like, whatever. So I went to the bathroom and I just put the pig like sitting outside.
Yeah.
And I came out again, and there was these bullies again, and they look at me and they go, "We smashed your pig," and I was just like, okay, and I just left.
Yeah.
I didn't fucking care.
It's just like, okay, whatever, dude. There was this one situation.
If I came out of the bathroom and I saw it smashed on the ground,
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, that's kind of mean. But the
Yeah.
fact that he was like, "We smash your pig," I was just like,
Well,
want to get a rise out of me.
You
I'm
just
not
admitted
gonna,
it to my face.
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna. It was just so bizarre.
That's always the interesting thing too, when they don't get a reaction and they try and like urge you to react by like saying things at you.
This is a very hard fight if you're playing it on the hardest difficulty. Like, holy fuck.
There was this one girl, and I don't know like why, but she
Yeah.
was like a bully kid to me, and she like hated my guts, and I never understood
Yeah.
why.
It's
Right?
like every bully I've had, they just start out of nowhere.
Yeah, they just
There's
start
no
shit for like
interaction.
no fucking reason.
There's no
Yeah.
interaction previous. There's no like.
There's no origin story basically.
Yeah,
it's
they
literally
they just show up.
they just spawned like
Yeah,
a video
yeah.
like a video game villain.
Enemy, yeah. They're
Just the enemies pop up. It's like a Dreams game, and you just spawn the bullies here, here. They didn't even exist before like they materialized just to bully you.
Yeah. They were randomly generated into the school you applied for.
Yeah, so like this girl again, I had no idea why she hated me, but she just really hated me for some reason and would like keep trying to like get a rise out of me. One day like one of her friends comes up to me and they're like, "Oh, you should apologize to her."
What?
And I'm like, "Why?" And she's like, "Oh, this girl, she talks about you a lot and she says that she really hates you and I don't know what you did, but you must have done something. So I think you should apologize to her. And you know, if she doesn't listen, say that I told you to say it." And I'm like, "Okay." And so I go to the girl because she has a locker next to mine, and I tell her like, "I'm sorry," and she's like, "Shut up, Mitchell," and then she goes to walk off, and I'm like, "Oh, your friend told me to say it," and she looks at me wide-eyed like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, your friend just told me to say sorry. I don't know. You know just about as much as I do." And she goes to her friend. And she comes back to me and is like, "You're forgiven." I'm like, "I don't even know what I don't know what I'm apologizing for. What do you mean?"
To quote Family Guy, "Men,
We don't know what we did." It's like, what are you talking about, you nut? Like, I get I'm autistic and I'm weird and I'm easy to pick on, but it's just like explain shit to me. I'm not an alien. Like, I'm sure I did something because I was an awkward kid, and but like no one ever explained that shit.
I remember there was a new girl in class. Oh shit! There was a new girl in class,
Yeah.
and like no one really wanted to befriend her, so I befriended her, and we were great friends. I go over to her house and
Yeah.
stuff. And once I was like just playing like Foursquare with her on the playground, and then a bunch of other girls in my class went up to her and were like, "Oh, you shouldn't be friends with him because like he's gross and stuff." But she didn't listen, so yeah.
Oh, that's sweet.
It was a nice story. She was level-headed and not, really strange.
That's actually really nice though, when like there are people who had bad experiences with you and they tell your new friend like, "Oh, you shouldn't hang out with him," and then like the
To be
person's
fair,
just
I
like,
was really gross.
"Yeah, no, well, I mean that's fair." I mean, it's not fair that you did that,
Yeah,
but it's fair that like whatever. But it's good when people have like the kind heart to just make their own decisions and not listen to like rumors about you.
I would like burp all the time just because I could burp whenever I want. I can do it right now.
And then you have that one female friend that's just like, "Oh, I can do it better than you." Like the critic.
Just me and Eugene Levy. Eudora something, not Eugene Levy. He's the guy from American Pie. So I went through 3 waves of fights. Now I have to climb a rope and then go through another wave of fights. It's like such a padded area. I love it. I haven't done anything this intensive in my games yet. I feel people wouldn't like that.
Have you ever known one of those girls that were just like, "Oh, I'm one of the boys. I'm not like the other girls. Oh, other girls like makeup and I like video games."
There are some women I'm sure are men now, and good. For
Yeah, yeah, good for them.
them. The way they acted was very like not. What's stereotypical?
I'm not trying to call this person out or anything, but there was this one female bully that I had.
Yeah.
And I overheard her talking, not once, more than on one occasion, talking about how she would make, if she was born a guy, she would be such a good, like, great guy.
Yeah.
Like, she should have been a boy or something like that. And I was just like, it's like, you know
Yeah.
what that means, but they're not explicitly saying it.
Yeah.
But it would be fine if it was just they said it once or twice, right? But it's the fact that it kept happening, like I kept overhearing it. And I'm just like, oh my god,
It keeps happening.
he can't keep getting away with this.
It's happened. That only happened once today.
And then he crapped all over that rock.
Hey, that only happened once. Why is it like so many like main characters are so fucking stupid? Fry, Homestar, Homer.
Well, I think it's to make him relatable, honestly.
Family Guy.
Don't you think like?
Yeah, his name is Family Guy. Peter Griffin.
Well, actually, there's a theory that goes
A theory.
if, in order for a comedy to be funny, the comedian needs to be either on your level or below you, right? In terms of like their social status or whatever. Like they need to come across as like a bit more pathetic than you, or a bit more like, you know, lower status. Do you know what I mean? Because like if a rich person comes onto the stage to do like a stand-up comedy bit, and they're just like, oh, you know, my servant, like you immediately do not relate with this person, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of why.
Although back in the day, there was a lot of shows like 50s and 60s about like rich families.
They say that jesters.
Like, what about the nanny? That was like 90s.
Back in the medieval times, they say that jesters were like the only people in the entire like community that could speak truth to power, because they would like criticize the king in a joke format, right? Yeah. So they were the only ones that could get away with it because they were like roasting the people that they were like criticizing in a way that made them laugh. I don't know how true that is.
Fuck.
I just
see how many fucking.
It's just one of those things that I heard somewhere.
So many of them.
But yeah, going back to what you were saying earlier, like anime characters like Luffy, Goku, Naruto, American characters like Homer Simpson, Fry, the guy from American Dad, they're stupid so that they come across as like more like run-of-the-mill, relatable, the average guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, not even the average guy, just the average like.
Guess which one is my favorite?
Homer Simpson.
No.
Fry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew that.
I always draw him being a cuck because he's so funny.
You should have drew him being a cuck in the Prince of Space episode.
I did intend to, but I'm just like, I'm lazy.
I love the way you trail. It's like, I did intend to. I should do that from now on.
Maybe I'll do another one. I don't know.
That is actually a really funny line, and I have to remember that. Like, if my partner's like, "Did you take out the dishes?" I did intend to. It's really good.
Okay, see that little rock down there?
Yeah, I see it.
Is that gonna break off?
I think so. Oh.
It fucked me up every time when this was new. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh.
Well, does it have
but
support?
No.
It must be like very well supported.
It just looks like it'll break, but it doesn't. It's strange.
That's weird game design. Piggyback ride. Time to give me a piggyback ride. Oh, you're no fun. Huh?
Yeah, I gotta focus. This guy is a real bitch. If I don't kill him, he's gonna shoot me. There we go.
So it's one of those things where if you don't kill them straight away, they become annoying.
Yeah.
I love that you know this game well enough to know when a thing is or is not going to be annoying.
Yeah.
You're so talented.
I'm so great.
You've stored so much information in your brain about this game.
Yeah, I remade it and now fuck. Except that, you know.
Yeah, you need to add you need to add those traps to your game.
I mean, yeah, I could do that.
You absolutely do need to do that. I remember I was playing as a girl avatar once.
Let's see if I can do it.
In a video game, and the comment on the video was just like, "Oh, you're basically just." And I'm like, "How?"
Who are you playing as?
Just a girl character, just a girl skin.
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that reminds me of a story in school when I was like fucking 14, 13. A teacher asked me, "Do you know what a alpha is?" And I said, "No, what is that?" And he said, "It's someone who puts their fingers in a orange." And I'm just like, "What? What does that have to do with what we're talking about?"
He just brought it up out of the blue, completely unprompted.
I got in trouble for bullying someone,
what?
and then he asked me what that was, and I'm just like, I was very confused.
It had nothing to do with like why you were there in the first place.
I said a sexual comment to someone my age.
Oh, yeah.
But I was joking. I wasn't like...
Yeah, no,
like,
of course
yeah,
not.
fuck me, baby.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. I remember being in primary school and, like, saying, like, comments like that to other kids before I even knew what it meant.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know what it meant. I just knew that, like...
something I didn't really understand.
Yeah, I just knew that the grown-ups reacted a very particular way to hearing that word. Yeah. So, it just... Yeah. I thought it was funny. I'm just like, wow, it makes the adults react in a funny way. They just, like, you know... Yeah. Their eyes bulge out of their head.
I remember this song tribute by Tenacious D.
Yeah.
One of the versions, the lyric is, "You are the mystical-eyed virgin." And I asked my mother, I said, "Mom, what's a mystical-eyed vagin?" I didn't understand it at all.
So there was this series of Flash movies on Newgrounds that I really liked called Eskimo Bob.
Yeah.
And I found a parody version called Eskablo Job. And I was like walking around my house like doing a little dance going Eskablo Job, Eskablo Job. And then my mum and sister just look at me and go, "What did you just say?" And I had to explain to them that I saw it on the internet.
I saw it on the internet.
But it wasn't, yeah. It was just the word. It didn't have any, like, meaning behind it. You know what I mean?
It doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything. We're all gonna die. It doesn't mean anything.
Die, old... I mean, middle-aged...
Is gonna die.
Is gonna die. Oh, shit.
That was actually one of my favorite bonding moments when, like, we just... me, you, and Fen were, like, laughing at that clip. And we're all on the couch. Remember when we used to have couch time? We used to all get up on the couch together. What was that one?
We would like dingle each other on the couch.
We definitely did not do that. Don't quote that. However, what was that one wizard movie where like there was a wizard in the park and he like sits down on a park bench and starts talking to a random dude, and Fen was just immediately like, "Oh man, if this guy came up and talked to me, I'd think I was on camera."
Wow, that's...
What was that? We watched a lot of like B movies, like bad family movies that are about like witches and wizards.
I would buy Flashback Entertainment family movie collections. And we would just watch them and jape around. It was so good.
Remember that one like weird cowboy movie where like the villain like had a very specific, you'd know the accent if you heard it, like a very specific way of speaking, and then Fen was just like, "You nincompoop," as a joke, and then the character said it 2 seconds later. And we're like, "Oh,
good lord,
we know what we know what we're talking about."
I'm talking about
I'm talking about
baby.
you and me. I'm talking about sex, baby.
Sex on game chat. That's what we do. Let's have sex on game chat.
Sex in Minecraft. Oh, the creeper's so funny. The way he looks at me is so funny. Grandma is dead.
Sex in Minecraft.
Sex in Minecraft.
I can't wait.
Having sex in Minecraft!
He makes serious music too. And it's,
Does he really?
Yeah, and it's just so funny whenever he just shitposts.
I cannot believe how much mileage you can get out of like literally just repeating the same 3 or 4 words over and over again.
They're very ridiculous.
Over an instrumental. Yeah. It's so weird that Minecraft hasn't released the sex update yet.
Yeah.
When are we gonna get that? I don't know. I never know things. I very rarely know things.
Isn't it crazy that this game's running on the same engine that does The Last of Us?
Is it really?
Yeah, and it's like 10 years apart almost.
Wow.
Or more like 7.
Unreal Engine?
No. This is original, like,
Oh.
Sony proprietary Naughty Dog
Okay.
game.
Have they ever released it to the public?
No.
Oh.
No, the engine is theirs.
Well, I guess you just have to keep recreating things in drams.
Yes, until the servers go down, which no one knows. It could be years.
It could be. I remember when you made like a celebratory thing thinking that like it was going to go down sooner. Didn't you think it was over?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
I just made special games that were...
I thought there was a time you messaged me saying like, oh, the servers are going to go down in like this month.
No, I didn't say that. I said the last update comes out in this month.
Oh, only the last update?
Yeah.
So people can continue. Oh,
Yeah,
but also, like,
everything's still gone.
one thing I do know you definitely said is that there's, like, less space to, like,
there's
store
less
things.
space to store things. Every time I use
Yeah.
space, I have to spend, like, maybe an hour and a half deleting save versions. Because every time you make a save, it just, it's earning a little bit of megabytes. But when you make a new creation, that uses all the megabytes.